Yeah, myself Indranil Chatterjee, and for last 22 years I'm in IT industry, and last 5 years I'm working for Geo Platforms Limited as a general manager for security and compliance. I mean, the concern over the scale and impact of the COVID-19 pandemic is still growing. Starting from March 2020 till date, it is still growing. The leading organizations to consider their responses and the actions they need to take now to maintain their business. The CISO has vital role in making sure the organization can function as pandemic containment measures are implemented. The most obvious need, of course, was to ensure widespread work from home arrangements were secured quickly, like almost overnight, what we have done 9-10 months back. As the impact of COVID-19 continues to take shape beyond the initial business continuity efforts, organizations are now establishing new operating models that are unplanned, rapid, and massive shifts to a remote workforce. When I say so, basically, not all organizations having a policy of work from home for all their employees, but because of this pandemic, this has been started. However, now the early days of business disruptions are over, and the organizations are settling into the reality that the current arrangements could stay in place for a foreseeable future or even permanently. I mean, we don't know because there is no vaccination till date. Projects and initiatives that were there pre-pandemic priorities have taken a backseat to the new business need. So what we need to consider is occupancy control per space, social distancing analytics, and updated security and safety and screening policies are just a few for the considerations. Return to office procedures, cyber security scanning policies will also need to be revisited and include new technologies such as touchless solutions, integrated visitor management systems, and cloud solutions. But I think a focus on mental health is now essential because it is important for the CISOs to be empathetic leader of teams who are likely feeling burnt out for doing work from home for so long time. Another big point is the attack surface must be redefined. I mean, every organization has some applications hosted on internet for their customers to get the seamless service available to them. So a massive workforce from home directive has unpended security responsibilities, leading to even more concerns over new attacks as criminals find new ways to exploit the pandemic. So securing remote employees is one of the important things to perform. The quick actions required for that is ongoing crisis has forced the organizations to go digital. Overlooking potential cyber risks, these sudden developments could lead to cyber threats like DDoS, defacements, and data breaches. At this point in time, it is essential for CISO to patch the holes in their network securely, their network security as quickly as possible. They also need to tackle the new attack vectors because the threat actors, who are great actors as on date, which is coming out to be, reinvented their attack approaches during the ongoing pandemic. COVID-19 related phishing scams, disinformation campaigns, weaponized websites, and malware infections have been widespread across the internet. So they need to be tackling those quickly to fight with these new cybersecurity threats. To me, all telcos are very smart. So telecommunications reach deep into the daily circumstances of individuals, business, and governments. In fact, telecom touches nearly everything and everywhere, along with energy, forms of foundation upon which all the critical infrastructure operates. So today's cyber advisories are constantly sharpening and evolving their capabilities to exploit new vulnerabilities. Addressing these threats will require that telecom operators approach activities and investment with comprehensive up to the minute knowledge about information assets, their crown jewels, ecosystems threats, and vulnerabilities. Effective security from awareness to action, what we call generally. What is that? Today, information security is a discipline that demands advanced technologies and processes, a skill set based on counterintelligence technique to prevent the cyber threats. And the unwavering support of top executives is needed here. As telecom operators become more likely technology companies, they will face a raft of new challenges. Core practices like employee awareness and training, which is regularly required, policies and tools to reduce insider risk, because human risk, as we know, is one of the risks for the insider threat, and protection of data, including intellectual property, will need to be updated. The confluence of mobility, cloud, and social networking have multiple risks. Yet few operators have addressed these threats or deployed technologies that monitor user and network activity to provide insight into the ecosystem vulnerabilities and threats. That means whoever is connecting to my network using an endpoint system or any mobile device from any other unsecured network, we need to monitor it. We need to have threat vectors defined so that we can quickly catch up on them. So these are the few things which need to be considered. And we call this model awareness to action. As it is most basic, this approach comprises few key steps. Security is now a business imperative. Security threats are business risks. The most valuable information must be protected, and all activities and investment should be driven by comprehensive current information about assets, ecosystem threats, and vulnerabilities. That is my take out here. Yeah, it's a good question. So SDN and NFB are not new, but they are present for quite some time, but there are several challenges and risks from a cyber security perspective. These challenges aren't showstoppers. That's what I'm not saying that, but rather than just something to work through, service providers, network security experts who are already working with the new technology say the challenges are worth solving and the risk worth mitigating, because the ultimate rewards by utilizing SDN and NFB are so compelling. I mean, especially the telco systems is working towards solving those cyber security challenges with a comprehensive solution that provides specific security measures to address the specific software-defined infrastructure security holes. Traditional telecom networks, as we know, for all the telecom operators, are based on closed operating system infrastructure. I mean, those telco nodes are not modifiable. That can be effectively protected from hacking and other attacks. But migrating to SDN and NFB technologies for next generation network infrastructures offer benefits like openness, remote programmability, agility, and other advantages like IT-like networks. So we'll have an open structure which can be customized according to the business need and customer need. However, the similarity to IT networks that makes SDN and NFB network advantageous for communications, service providers also makes them vulnerable to the full range of cyber attack that target IT networks. So I'll conclude by saying SDN and NFB technologies will change the entire telecom industry in the coming years as the technologies move out from data center to a carrier network itself. I mean, if you check, none of us are now downloading anything from the network. Earlier we used to do, everything is online. So it is moving from a data center network to a carrier network. They hold promise of bringing cost savings and new business opportunities. I mean, the unprecedented times we are in today calls for unprecedented measures. If any organization in the current pandemic situation is not having a BCP plan, they will be in event of any disaster. So during this pandemic, it becomes imperative for CISOs to understand the ways to create value out of any organization function. It is the expertise and skills to mitigate risk and lead the recovery efforts for the organizations, business, and communities that will help them to stay afloat during these times. I would say, given the prevalence and variety of business impacting disasters, it would be reasonable to assume that any serious organization has business continuity and disaster recovery plans in place and continuously updated. When I say updated, it is according to their need. They should test it on a regular frequency to check what is the RPO and RTO they are getting, which is required for their business to continue. At its core, business continuity and disaster recovery are a subset of risk management practice that depends upon leadership's adopting a risk-aware mindset. So you need to understand here what need to be addressed in event of mitigating the risk. Before risk-aware, it is not the same as being risk-averse. It does not suggest that leadership should overreact to every possibility of a negative outcome and fear taking any risk. So you need to understand your business where you need the recovery plan. Instead of a risk-aware mindset, encourages leaders to consider in advance of risk materializing and how the organization will address it. So you need to know what needs to be addressed and how need to be addressed. So you should have your core functions identified and have a BCP and DR documented and updated for that. Yeah, it is cybersecurity is important in all sectors, but yes, it is great importance in the financial sector. As you correctly said, it becomes all the more necessary since the very foundation of banking lies in nurturing trust and credibility. I will explain a few reasons why cybersecurity is important in banking and why it should matter to us. Everyone nowadays going to be cashless using digital money, that is debit cards, credit cards, Google Pay, Paytm, etc., etc. In this context, it becomes very important to ensure that all measures of cybersecurity are in place to protect your data and your privacy. Very important terminologies. Data breaches can make it difficult to trust financial institutions. Like for banks, that's a serious problem. A weak cybersecurity system can amount to data breaches that could easily. You often tend to lose time and money when a bank is time consuming as well as stressful. It would involve cancelling cards, checking the statements, and keeping your eyes open for the complications. Your private data in the wrong hands can do a great harm. Even if the cards are cancelled, suppose there is a fraud and you inform your bank and they close the card and they will send a new card to you. What is important is your data, that is sensitive data, personal information, could reveal a lot of information that could be used against you because that is already decoded by the hacker. So banks need to be on their guard more than most businesses, I would say. That's the cost of holding on to the kind of valuable personal data that banks do. Your data with the bank can be breached if not protected from cyber crime threats. I mean, during a seminar, what happened that I asked one of the big shots in the industry that there is a rule, there is an IT law in event of, I don't want to mention that, but if that breach happens, CISO can be behind the bar. So role of a CISO is not so simple, yes, and is currently working directly with the board to understand the business requirement and convert into the security mitigated condition. What is a CISO and what do they do? As a leader of cyber defense for an organization, the Chief Information Security Officer is rapidly becoming indispensable for an organization's survival. Hacks and malware infections were once uncommon occurrences that are isolated to just office automation IT processes. But now, the drizzle and drops of sophisticated hacking attacks have grown to a hammering torrent of constant zero-day exploits and global malware pandemics. Combine this with our utter dependence on powerful but still embryonic and fragile technology like the IoT, like the cloud computing and mobile everything have transformed the internet age into a period of cruel miracles for security professionals. New compliance regimes like GDPR, data protection, it is for Europe, but yes, for India, the data protection bill is almost tabled for approval. So they are challenging and status quo of many IT processes, which needs to be revived, especially considering how much regulated data is entrenched in normal business processes. So how CISO make decisions and what influence they have is more important than ever. According to me, the IT security function will transform from a cost center to a revenue center. Hence, the CISO will be more involved in the brand reputation and protection.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.